Picture hold anymore. It is Patti LaBelle, and the name of the band is LaBelle.
Oh, boy. Brett LaBelle, of course, is the...
Of course.
Why did I not think of that? Well done. Well played. I'm ready for the next two now, though.
I think you are. Everyone quickly going to their Wikipedia pages, seeing the last names.
Well, what's great is I've got, on my wall, I've got a cast photo of everyone, so I'm just staring at it now. I'm ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to need first names the rest of the way, then. All right, we're going to move on to It's a Visual, 6 or 8?
Let's do 8 for this.
All right. Close your eyes if you wish, but we're going to paint a picture. When the verdict was read in the O.J. Simpson murder trial, which member of the Dream Team was standing furthest to the right?
Which member of the Dream Team was standing furthest to the right? Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, I'm looking at my cast, and it's... Now, the thing is, though...
David's playing a completely different game from the rest of you guys, and it's okay, because it doesn't matter how you get the question, as long as you get the question.
Yeah, and of course, there's a very famous Survivor name in there, a very iconic Survivor name, not part of my cast, but I'm trying to not go there right now. No, I got it. There is one from my cast. Yeah, partner in crime. And I wish I did remember that moment. I actually remember it over the radio, so I wasn't actually watching the verdict, even though it got played a million times. But based on the logic of your questioning, I'm going to say Shapiro.
Shapiro, you happen to remember Mr. Shapiro's first name?
Robert Shapiro.
Robert Shapiro is indeed correct, and gosh darn it, you didn't fall for Johnny Cochran, so well
done. That was great. I love that.
I figured if you had picked it up by this point, I might throw you a curveball here, but well done. 8 points for you.
Oh, God, I'm feeling so much better. This is my favorite round so far.
And may I say, in case she's listening, although I did not think that she was going to win the game, I did think she won that tribal council. So, Hannah, this one's for you. We're going to move on to famous names. 6 points is all that is left for you, sir. So we'll make this a 6-point famous names question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Raph Simons is currently the chief creative officer for what company founded by a graduate of the Fashion Institute of Technology in 1968?
Oh, my God. Okay. Creative officer, created in 1968. It's so funny. Like, I hate to be that guy that's just trying to, tackle this through the logic of your questioning. But I feel like it's my only way in. Ooh, okay. So, obviously we're talking about fashion, right? So, I got to think of like what castmates from my season would be at all. Their names would represent anyone in the fashion industry. And not Sunday Berquist. I don't know any Berquist leather or anything like that. Zeke Smith. Smith's too common of a name, I think. But you know what? You've got 2 people already that you put from final 3. So maybe we're going with the winner of my season, Klein.
And which company do you think that would be?
That would be Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein is indeed correct, yes, and Brett finished 5th. These were the top 5, along with you, so.
Oh, wonderful. I love it.
So, yeah, 6 points for you for knowing that Calvin Klein is the correct answer. I gotta give you all due credit. I mean, you may think it's cheap to get the 14 points that you got that way, but very few people figure out these 4-question mini-themes that early, so well done to you. Well done.
Well, like I said, I've listened to every episode of your podcast, so.
All right, well, you have a very, very healthy 17 points heading into halftime. Halftime bonus is up next. Here's how that works. I will read you a question, give you some time to think about your answer. It is the only question of the game in which partial credit is allowed. There'll be multiple answers that you need to provide. After we come back from a brief commercial break, you can tell me what your answers are to the following halftime bonus question. In New York Mets history, come on, I have to do this.
Oh no.
Third baseman David Wright is second overall with 1,583 games played. For 2 points each, I want you to name any 5 of the other 8 players who have played at least 1,100 games in a Mets uniform? We're going to give David a little time to think about that question. You can think of it as well, and we'll be back after the break. Are you beating my guest, or is my guest beating you? Tell us all about it on Twitter or Gmail at BMGPod. If you like what you're hearing, please review and rate us on iTunes. And if you'd like to support Beat My Guest, helping to make more episodes possible, please consider becoming a patron at patron.podbean.com/beatmyguest. And now back to me for the second half of this week's episode. And welcome back to Beat My Guest. My guest this week is David Wright. When we last left David, he was sitting on 17 points and working on the following halftime bonus question. In New York Mets history, the other David Wright is second overall with 1,583 games played. For 2 points each, I have asked David to name 5 of the other 8 players who have played at least 1,100 games with the New York Mets. David, what have you come up with? Tell me about your teammates.
Okay, well, let's see. Well, the problem is, admittedly, I know the least about sports. And so any information I do know about sports comes from pop culture. And so I don't even know if I'm getting this team right, but I remember there was an episode of Seinfeld where they kind of made fun of the Oliver Stone's JFK, but with Keith Hernandez, who I believe was a Met, unless I'm wrong. So I'm going to say for one of my answers, Keith Hernandez.
Okay.
As for the rest of the answers, I don't think I could name any baseball players that aren't on another team. So I could just guess. Is there a Bill? Yeah, I'm afraid that's all I have for this.
Okay, you don't want to just throw out random last names and see if maybe you can hit?
Well, you know what? I'll just throw out, I do know a handful of Phillies because I'm from Philadelphia. So maybe they, by chance, were on the Mets at some point. So let's throw in a Kruk. Let's throw a John Kruk. Let's throw in a Mike Schmidt. Let's throw in a Steve Carlton. And, Darren Dalton.
Okay, Darren Dalton, who just passed away recently.
Yes.
Dutch, yeah. Okay. Well, of these 5 names, they were, 4 of them were Phillies. Maybe if you had said something like, Rico Brogna, he crossed over, but he's not a right answer, but at least he played for both teams. Keith Hernandez did play for the Mets. However, he played a vast majority of his career with the St. Louis Cardinals before he became a Met. And therefore did not reach the 1,100 milestone that we're looking for here. So I'm not going to belabor this anymore. I'm just going to run through the list really quickly. You did not get any of them, but for those of who are trying to beat my guess, I got to give them their points if they get them. We'll start off with Darryl Strawberry, 1109. Mookie Wilson, 1116. Howard Johnson, 1154. So you could have just said Johnson.
Yeah, I should have.
Lucky Johnson was in play. Old timer Cleon Jones. Jones.
Oh, Jones.
1201. Current Met Jose Reyes at 1223. Jerry Grody, a catcher from the old days, 1235. Bud Harrelson, who infamously got into a brawl with Pete Rose during the playoffs in '73.
Wow.
With 1322. And a man who played on the original 1962 Mets and was still playing when I was 9 years old in 1979, Ed Kranepool, entire career with the Mets, 1835.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he was a lifer.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know for sure, but he's probably lost more games than any other Met as well, because they were really bad back then for the most part. They had a couple of years here and there, but yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right, well, you didn't get any points there, but you know what? You got 17 points, which, again, is still way ahead of the curve, so it's not crying too much into your beer here. Someone else is going on the reward challenge, and you're staying home at camp, but so what? Yeah,
I can eat some coconut. I'll get by.
There you go. All right, we're going to move on to round 3. The point values will stay the same at 2, 4, 6, and 8, but the categories will change, and here they are. We'll start off with In the News, move on to Numbers, follow that up with Television, and finish off the round with Science. So for In the News, 2, 4, 6, or 8.
Oh, let's do 4 for that.
All right, 4 points for In the News. Good luck, and here we go. The solar eclipse of August 21st grabbed the attention of the United States, and with it came tons and tons and tons of eclipse trivia. Here is just one of the tidbits that was in the news over the past stretch leading up to the eclipse.
Uh-oh. I drove for this, by the way.
Where did you go to see it?
I went to Oregon.
Oregon, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this Oregon is not the answer, but as you'll figure out very, very clearly, what U.S. state capital, which was not impacted by this most recent event, will be the first city to have seen 4 total solar eclipses when it sees one in 2117?
2117. Oh my God. Okay. Geez. See, I actually, because I was so moved by this eclipse that I saw yesterday that I wanted to find out when's the next one, where, and but I did not go so far into the future as that. But okay, we're looking for a state capital. Okay, let's gosh. It's so tricky. And there's just really no way for me to know other than I have a 1 in 50 chance, right?
Well, actually less than that, because if you kind of know where this eclipse went over, it's not one of those states.
Oh, you're right. You did say that. Okay, that's right. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's an important clue. You're right.
I've increased your odds exponentially.
You have. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, then, let's just say... And by the way, when you say that, you mean totality, I assume, right?
Yes, this is a total eclipse, yes.
Yeah. Good, like California, you could see it, but not totality. Just
right.
Okay, so Sacramento would be in play. Let's go with. I'm not going to say Sacramento. I'm going to say. Let's go with Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right. Now, I will say that Boise, Idaho, which was involved in this current one, will also be involved with the next one, and will be the first to hit 3. But it was involved in this one. It will not hit 4, however, because that's not totalities. That's just it'll be the first capital to see 3 eclipses, not total eclipses. But that the paths of 2 of the ones that were partial eclipses went over Boise. So that was also in the news. You have the right state, sir, but Jacksonville, my friend, is not the capital of Florida.
Tallahassee.
It is Tallahassee.
What's wrong with me? I want not to make excuses. 1,800 miles in the car the last 3 days.
All right. Well, I would give you partial credit, but if I did, then you'd look right into the sun, and it's still dangerous, and your eyes would burn. So I don't want to cause you any harm. So,
well, clearly the eclipse hurt my brain because I said Jacksonville.
But that's okay. It's fine. Just a small little bump in the road. I think we can pick this up from here. Numbers is next. 2, 6, and 8.
Let's go with 2.
2 points on numbers. All right, good luck. Here we go. Have you heard of this TV show called Lost?
Yeah.
All right, well, Lost, it's a TV show ostensibly about a bunch of survivors living on an island. And it aired a grand total of 121 episodes over its 6-season run. Now, assuming that the 2-part pilot counts as 2 distinct episodes, what number episode in the show's run was the one entitled The Man from Tallahassee?
Oh, wonderful. By the way, not to correct you, but I believe it was called The Man from Jacksonville. Let's see. Okay, The Man from Tallahassee was John Locke, if I remember correct. Yeah, okay, I love this. By the way, so I'm a huge Lost fan, although, and I could talk about Lost for a while, but that episode happens to be my favorite episode. I gotta do some very, very simple math, because what I consider the number of that episode to be is not what it would be based on, I believe, counting the pilot as 2. So, but I love that episode. It's got one of the best twist reveals. I would put that as one of the best hours of TV ever, actually. So I will say I thought it was episode 4, but I believe if you count the pilot as 2, that would make it episode 5. So that's my final answer, episode 5.
Oh, David. You have misconstrued the episode. It is not the